Hey guys, Bill here. You know, we've seen a lot of weird fish here on my channel, and some of the most popular ones are the transparent fish. But just recently, while I was on a trip to Jamaica, I heard about a fish that can actually make itself invisible. A guy who wanted to sell me a snorkel trip said the fish could turn itself into the color of the water and virtually disappear. So I was like, is this fish for real? Or are you just trying to sell me a snorkel trip? There was only one way to find out. So your name is Kirk?
Yeah man, my name is Kirk.
Okay, you know Kirk, I was told that they have this special fish out here. It's called a piper fish?
Yeah man.
What's it called?
Piper fish.
You know, I never heard of that before, so I'm a little bit skeptical. So are you telling me this is real? These fish really exist?
Yes, they exist. And not only that, they have a pointed beak, like a bird.
Like a bird?
Yeah man, they have a really pointed beak. If they stick you, it can bore you.
Really?
Yeah man.
Now, according to Captain Kirk, the best way to get next to some piper fish is to hang around the fish the pipers like to eat. These little delicacies are known as sergeant major fish and exist throughout the Caribbean. The adults grow up to 22 centimeters or about 9 inches. They're very friendly fish and they'll eat right out of your hand. Look at this. Kirk joined me in the water and everything was going well until he suddenly saw something that scared him. He ordered us back to the boat immediately.
Well, we got in the water and we saw a barracuda, and we had to get back out of the water because there's no judgment on a barracuda. You know, we know that he's dangerous, we know that he can bite you, you know. And
now, I didn't see anything myself, so I guess we'll just have to take his word for it. All right, so we're safe.
yeah,
We know barracudas are real,
definitely.
but I still got a question.
What?
Are these piper fish real? I haven't seen one. Are we going to see a piper fish before we go back today?
Well, I can give you a story about a piper fish.
Okay.
I've hooked a piper fish, and when I pull him up and he come close to the boat, he get off the hook and he run on his tail underwater, and he run right around in a circle and bang in the side of the boat.
The more I heard about these things, the more I wanted to see one, but, you know, this trip was falling apart pretty fast. Kirk pulled anchor and we headed for another spot he knew that just happened to be on our way back to the beach. So just get ready to jump, right?
Huh?
If I see one, just jump.
You won't got to.
Huh?
Because if you see him jump out of
No, just to get a picture.
Yeah, but he's gonna move so fast. Trust me.
A few minutes later, we stopped over at Coral Reef, but Kirk didn't seem too anxious to get back in the water. In fact, he thought we might have a better shot at seeing a piper fish through the glass on the floor of his boat. The only problem with that was the glass was actually pretty dirty and not very conducive to recording video. He seemed willing to clean the top of the glass, but when it came to cleaning the bottom, which meant going in the water, he gave that job to me. Despite my best efforts, we still didn't get to see any piper fish, but he did offer me a position on his boat crew as glass cleaner. By the time we got back to shore, the sun was already getting pretty low on the horizon, but I wasn't giving up. I still had a few more days on this island to find this mysterious fish, and I was determined to do it. I'll be right back. Hey guys, Bill here. If you ever find yourself in Jamaica and want to take your significant other out for a really cool dinner, ask for directions to the Pelican Bar. It's a little shack made out of wood scraps out in the middle of nowhere, but my buddy Floyd and his team will cook up some excellent seafood for you and let you hang out to watch the sunset. They'll even carve your names in the wood for you right where you sat. And if you have a YouTube channel like I do, you might even find a fan there who recognizes you.
This is Denver Falls from Jamaica, and I just want to say Bill Daniels rock. Yeah, man.
All right, ironically enough, what I found out talking to a couple of other people is that my best chance for seeing a piper fish might be like right here, right in front of the beach after all that. So let's go see what we can find out. There wasn't much coral next to the beach, but that didn't mean there wasn't lots of sea life there. I saw a ton of conch on the sandy seafloor, as well as a starfish. This one is called a cushion sea star. I thought maybe they called it that because it was soft like a cushion, but contact with it proved me wrong. It was just as hard and brittle as any other starfish. There were also these little mounds that kind of look like brains. But I think those were just piles of sand where crabs have dug a hole and left some trailings. Once again, coming up with no evidence of any piper fish here either, I spotted a guy prepping his tour boat. I asked him if he knew where I could find these piper fish. He pointed over towards a place called the Rock House. The Rock House turned out to be a really cool hotel perched on top of a rocky section of the shore. Not only did they have some awesome looking areas for fish to hang out, but some really cool places for people too. In this area of Jamaica, jumping from cliffs to get in the water seems to be pretty popular. I could have used the ladders provided by the hotel, but I decided to adhere to the local custom. The coral heads at this place look pretty healthy. Not only were there tons of colorful fish, but lots of black sea urchins as well. These things can be very painful if you get stuck by one, so they're not very well liked. But they are ecologically important to the coral reefs because they like to eat algae that otherwise would take over the reef and smother it. One of the other locals I came across was this guy. He's a yellow stingray and pretty common in the area. These guys are not aggressive at all and will scoot out of the way as soon as they see you. I was up near a spot where the hotel restaurant overlooks a little cove when I suddenly spotted a small, thin fish. Could this be, maybe, hopefully, a baby piper? No. When I got close, I realized it was a trumpet fish, which is actually pretty common to the area. Trumpet fish are also known to use camouflage, but their main trick is to just float around and pretend to be a stick in the water. When they really want to disappear, they don't change color, they do this. Zoop! 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 Gone. Well, it's kind of sad for me to have to say this, but I was never able to come up with a single example of this mythical and mysterious piper fish. I mean, I even checked online, but the only examples I could find there were from New Zealand. So that brings me back to my original question. Are these piper fish real? Or was that guy just trying to sell me a snorkel trip? Why don't you let me know what you think by voting right up here, either real or fake. Now, if you just so happen to have some additional information that can help me solve this mystery, please leave that in the comments section. I'll be waiting for your answers at my next stop, a place called Golden Eye. This is a hotel built around the house where the creator of James Bond used to live. His name was Ian Fleming, and believe it or not, you can rent his old house as your hotel room for a mere $6,000 per night. You can even sit at the desk where Mr. Fleming wrote 12 James Bond novels. The place is incredibly calm and relaxing, which makes you wonder, what was it like for Ian Fleming to be writing James Bond stories in a place like this? Now, if you don't have the money to rent the house, you can also stay in one of the smaller bungalows. And if you do that, you'll be able to go swimming in a pool shaped like a golden eye. Now, how 007 is that? See you next time.